Hello, Latifa. Thank you for coming in. My name's Lindsay. So, what brings you into the office today?
Well, today I'm here because I have two jobs and I'm going to school full time. And I'm really stressed out about, losing my job and not being able to pay my bills.
Okay, okay. Well, it sounds like you definitely are balancing a lot of things between, working two jobs and going to school, and you have a fear of losing your second job and you're supporting yourself. Does that all? And would you say that right now the biggest stressor in your life is your fear of losing your second job?
Yeah, it is definitely like the biggest stressor, losing my job.
Okay. Has there been anything that has caused that stress or the possibility that you may lose that job?
There's been like little mistakes, like me forgetting to like do my side work, or sometimes the drawer may come up a couple of dollars short, and like if the draw comes up short more than three times, you get suspended, and get suspended more than three times, it's automatic termination. So I'm definitely worried about that. And also we're having the health inspection, so there's no room for any type of mistakes. So yeah.
Okay, so it sounds like it's been kind of some simple mistakes that have happened that are causing you that stress. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Do you think that maybe it's a combination of trying to balance everything between work and school and two jobs that is causing you to make those errors? Just maybe you're kind of not, you're so overwhelmed by everything else.
Yeah, and I feel like me working two jobs and going to school full time, not getting enough sleep. So the errors that I'm making, I wouldn't usually make if I like got enough sleep. But you know, I haven't had a chance to get like my normal 8 hours of sleep. The most that I get of sleep is like 5 hours a day, or even if I get that, you know, with studying and going to school, and then that at my jobs, and I work at one job overnight, so I really don't get that much rest. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like you are definitely balancing a lot, and I'm so sorry that this is all happening to you. I'm sure it's can be a little overwhelming at times. Um, have you possibly tried talking to your employer and letting them know what the situation is? And
No, not really, because I'm usually the kind of person that likes to stay to myself, and I just don't like to involve anyone unless like it's a serious problem.
mhm.
But I'm gonna talk to my employers about cutting back on the hours a little bit so I can like be able to get more sleep and stuff like that.
Okay. And do you think that your employers are going to be receptive to that? You explaining the situation and asking to cut back on hours?
Yeah, because like they're cutting back hours anyway, so I feel like none of that shouldn't be a problem, you know.
Okay, so it sounds like you're definitely being proactive, which is really good. You're coming up with some solutions on your own, but it's not to say that you can't, we can't work together and talk about something else. Now, aside from the stress of losing your job, is there anything else that brings you here today, or would you say that's your main focus right now, is
Well,
that stress?
right now that's my main focus, and just being able to pay my bills like on time and stuff like that.
Okay. Now you support yourself, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have any sort of family that can provide maybe not financial support but emotional support for you during this
Yes,
time?
my mom.
Okay. So you're close with your mom.
Yeah, I'm really close with my mom.
Okay. And now does that help having her there just to kind of listen and help?
Yeah, that really helps, but she works too, so she doesn't have like all the time in the world to like be there, talk to me. That's why I'm here. Because I need someone to talk to.
Right, definitely. Well, I am so sorry that you're going through all of this, but I think that we can definitely work together. Now, what would you say right now is your main priority that you want to focus on cutting back hours or possibly coming up with some solutions so that way maybe you don't have to work two jobs?
I want to just focus on cutting back hours, and then like later on, like in the future when I get everything straightened out, I can focus on not having to work two jobs or something like that.
Definitely, definitely. Now, do you feel working two jobs has had any effect on your schoolwork and your performance in school?
Um, yeah, I feel like I can do much better. I'm passing, but like I don't just want to pass. I want to do great. I feel like if I didn't work as much as I do, I would be able to dedicate that time to studying, doing projects,
Right.
yeah.
Right. So it sounds like you're still doing well in school, but not as well as you would like, or you're not able to devote the time that you would like to school. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Now, what is it that you're going to school for?
For social work.
Okay. Very good. Very good. And does going to school, obviously you're passionate about that, correct?
Yes.
So is that going to school, does that provide you, well, it's stressful, I'm sure, but does it provide you some sort of relief at the same time? Because it's
Yeah.
something that you enjoy doing?
Yes, it really does, because when I go to class, I really enjoy, the conversations and the discussions that they have in class, and yeah.
Well, that's good. So it sounds like even though school can be stressful, it's also a stress reliever for you at the same time.
Yes.
Do you do anything else maybe that is a stress reliever for
Well,
you?
I don't have too much of a social life because I work and go to school a lot. But like every so often, me and my best friend would probably like go out to eat or to the movies, or just do something fun for the night.
Yeah.
you
Well,
know.
it is important that you take time for yourself to kind of de-stress and let all that stuff out. Like I said, Latifah, I'm so sorry that you're going through all this, but it sounds like you're a very hardworking and driven, independent young lady. And I think that we can work together to create a plan to kind of help you learn to cope with all these stressors and maybe come up with some solutions to the stresses. Does that sound like something that you'd be willing to work on?
Yes, that sounds great.
Okay, so like we said, what is your main focus right now? What would be your number one priority that you want to work on?
My number one priority is to dedicate, being the best student that I can be, first of all. And then, like, with the job, like, just, cutting back some hours, so I won't be as stressed. And then, like, working on having more of a social life, because I'm in college and I like to, like, socialize with other organizations and stuff like that. So
Mhm.
it'll be great for me.
So your main focus right now is to be able to devote more time to school.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Mhm.
And you feel that the easiest way to do that is to cut back on hours at both of your jobs?
Yes.
Okay. And you're going to talk to your employer about possibly cutting back on hours at job?
Yes.
And now you said that you want to look into organizations at school. What kind of organizations are you that you're interested in?
The organizations, SGA, Student Government Association, the association that they have for social work program students, and like possibly like Greek Life. I don't know. That's something new for me that I want to try out and see if I like it. And just like clubs, like being like interested in like the environmental club. I heard they had that. I used to do that in my old high school. And, just something new and different.
Okay. Well, it sounds like you definitely are kind of have a plan together. And like I said, I think that we can work together and come up with steps and stuff that may help you in these goals. So perhaps next time that we meet, we can come together and compile a list of maybe some scholarships or find. Okay, Latifah, so it sounds like you're coming up with some awesome ideas and some plans, and I think if we work together that we'll be able to come up with stuff. So perhaps next time we meet we can look into some scholarships that your school may offer, financial aid, and that may help relieve some of the financial stress that you have for school, and then you're able to focus on being more active in school life. Like you said, you are a college student, you want to be able to enjoy that.
Yeah.
And maybe next time we can look at different job opportunities that are in the area that are more conducive to a college student's schedule, that allow less hours and not having to work overnights. And I think all of that will definitely help to relieve some of the stress that you're experiencing right now. And does that sound like a plan, something that we can work together on?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. So why don't we go ahead and we can schedule another appointment? Does that sound like something you'd like to do?
Yes.
Okay. So we can go ahead and get another plan going. And like I said, Latifah, thank you so much for coming in and meeting with me. It was great meeting with you. And I think that we'll work together and we're going to help you with all the stressors that you have between school and work and the stress of losing your other job. And it sounds like you already have a plan in place. And between our next appointment, are you going to talk to your employer about what's been going on?
Yes, I'm definitely going to talk to my employer.
Okay. Well, I definitely look forward to hearing how that conversation goes. And like I said, the next time you come in, we'll work together to look into your other options, scholarships, and other job opportunities. And I think that this will work out really well, and hopefully will help you and relieve some of your stress. Does that sound like a plan?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank
you
you
so
for
much.
talking to me today.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hi, Lindsay. I'm Latifah, and I'll be your counselor today. And what brings you in today?
Well, I just recently lost a very close friend of mine, and I'm trying to deal with that, and that's causing a lot of stress. And I'm also going to school and working full time.
That's correct. How long have you known your friend?
We've been friends. It's a family friend, so probably about 10 years.
Yes. And what's the cause of that?
Well, she had a brain tumor, and a year after her surgery, she got what's called septic, which is a bad infection, and she basically just passed away.
And what were your thoughts and feelings, when you heard the news that she passed?
I think I was angry a lot because she was fine. She had the surgery a year prior, and she was doing really well, and everyone kind of thought that she was going to make it out okay. And so I think anger was a lot of it, and obviously sadness of, losing her.
Did you guys spend a lot of time together?
Yes, like I said, our families were really close, so our families spent a lot of time together, and we've all kind of been involved in each other's lives for quite some time.
Like, what activities did you guys do?
Well, she was a little bit younger than I was, so she was kind of like a little sister to me. So, I would try and do sisterly stuff with her. We'd go shopping together, and both of our families we met through the fire department. So being involved in that, and just a lot of community involvement. We played sports together, and I would coach her in her sports, and
it sounds like you guys had a lot of fun together. So, what have you done to cope with the death of her?
I don't know. I try and talk to people about it, but it's still kind of upsetting. So I think I just kind of internalize a lot and try and stay busy and work more and focus on school more and try and focus on the more positive aspects in life and not dwell on her passing.
Do your friends and family members relate to how you're feeling? Do they feel the same way? Like how?
I think my family is upset as well. That like I said, we were family friends, so we were all pretty close to each other, and so I think they're probably dealing with a lot of the sadness and anger that I am as well.
So tell me more about your school life and your work life. How's that going?
Well, I feel like maybe it is kind of, my school is kind of being affected by this because I do feel sometimes distracted when I come to class, and I try and still focus on class, but obviously she's always in the back of my mind. And then as far as work goes, I think work's the same. That's kind of being affected by her loss. But I do work full time and go to school full time, so I try and stay busy the best I can, but I think that overall both are being affected by her passing.
Sometimes with a loss, it's best to take a couple of days off, to relieve some stress, to be able to cope with it, because sometimes when you're keeping busy, it keeps you from really dealing with what's really going on. So have you thought about taking time off, or
I have, because my family doesn't live down here.
Yes.
So I've thought about trying to take some time off so I can go and be with them and be around people that are kind of experiencing the same thing I am, and maybe that'll help deal with the stress.
So how about her family? How is her family dealing with this?
I think they're having a really difficult time with it. They don't really like to talk about it too much. But again, we try and support them the best we can and understand their feelings and what they're going through. But I think they're experiencing more anger and kind of shock right now.
And because they expected her to get better,
right?
And she didn't. So how do you feel today with it? Do you feel like you're coping better with it?
I
Or you
think
feel like is it still like, you know, getting the best of you or something?
I think today it's kind of getting the best of me. I think I was also maybe a little anxious about coming here today, so
Yeah.
I was thinking about that and being anxious about coming and meeting here today. So,
Did someone refer you here, or did you like find us?
my mom suggested that maybe I talk
Suggested?
with someone
Someone?
since I don't have my family down here. That maybe an outside person could help and
Yeah.
provide some support.
And have you been like having problems sleeping or eating? Like how have your
Um,
sleeping and eating habits been?
I feel like I'm tired a lot, but I'm not able to sleep because,
Yes.
like, your mind is always racing. You're always thinking about what if and
What if?
stuff like that. As far as eating, I think that's probably the same. I don't have much of an appetite.
Right.
So I think overall it's affecting, you know, me emotionally as well as physically because I do feel like just tired a lot and I've been, having problems with my health because of it. I think it's just all tied to that.
Yeah, and sometimes when we have a death like close family or friends, we also have to remember to take care of ourselves because we don't want to get to the point where we're physically sick because we can't deal with the stress or the situation that we've been dealt with. Um, so how do you feel about everything that's happened? Do you feel like, that you can overcome this? Do you feel like,
I feel like I can overcome it. My family and I, we've experienced, losses.
yes,
So I think that we're generally pretty tough and I have a good family support system. So we'll come together and we'll overcome it. But I think right now it's really hard because it was just such a shock because she was younger and stuff like that. So I don't think anyone ever expects to really lose a child or lose, someone who's young.
yeah. Do you think that coming here today helped you, or were you like against it, or how do you?
I wasn't against it. Like
Mhm.
I said, it was a little anxious because I
Yes.
knew I was going to have to talk about it, and that's something obviously that can be difficult because it can trigger different feelings. So
Do you have like problems like talking about like how you really feel or expressing how
I
you feel
think
to others?
sometimes I think it's easier, like I said, to just internalize it and kind of think that it'll all go away on its
Yeah.
own. And I think I'm learning that that's not the case.
Yes. We can definitely work on like some techniques and like coping skills to help you not to do that because that's definitely, very unhealthy for you emotionally and physically. So I'd love to reschedule like an appointment for you can come back again so we can have more discussions and you can open up more about how you're feeling, about how you want to deal with the stress, you know. I can offer you techniques, but like, is how you feel about it.
Hmm.
Yes. So thank you, Lindsay, for coming to visit me today, and I look forward to seeing you in the future.
Yes, sounds good. Thank you.
You.